going on? Yo, what's going on? Welcome to episode 1 of Suburban Wasteland. I am your host, Fred Collins Jr., if that even is my real name. But welcome to the channel. Today we're watching a time lapse of a Martha Splatterhead COVID mask. If you don't know who Martha Splatterhead is, she is a mascot of a band called The Accused. I discovered The Accused in around 1987 or 88 maybe. I was like 14 or 15. I'd seen an older guy in my high school with a shirt, and that had me a little curious about him. And then I was right into skateboarding at the time. One day I picked up a Thrasher magazine, and there was an article in there, Accused A to Z. So they basically went through every letter of the alphabet, talked about something. It was a really fun, clever interview, and it was through that interview I discovered how much they loved horror movies, such as myself, who was a huge horror movie buff. I went to see King Kong when I was maybe 4. It's the first movie I ever saw in the theater. I was like instantly drawn to monsters. My sister was 6 years older than me, so I was watching a lot of stuff. The Exorcist, Halloween, original Friday the 13th, like way too young probably, But nonetheless, it got me right into horror and a love of horror, and I saw that The Accused had that love of horror. I thought I need to check these guys' music out. So went down to old record store one day and saw their new album had just come out, the Maddest Stories Ever Told, and the art was just insane, cover art, and myself being an artist growing up my whole life, I was just instantly drawn to that art because it was kind of things I would draw, that sort of style. And the artwork on that cover was done by collaboration between Art K. Sloan and Jeff Gaither. Who would know, over 30 years later, I'd end up crossing paths with Jeff Gaither on social media, becoming somewhat of friends, and it's really cool. Just very amazing to see he's still out there and doing his thing. His work's still top-notch, it always has been. If you don't know who Gaither is, you should go look him up. He worked with Big Daddy Ed Roth, who's famous for Rap Fink. If you love that kind of art style, you gotta check Gaither out. So, anyhow, The Accused were what we would call a crossover band, meaning they crossed hardcore punk and thrash metal, essentially. And they were from Seattle, Washington. Founded in 81, actually. Of course, I didn't hear them till the late 80s. I would say they possibly influenced some grindcore and crust punk bands, according to the Wikipedia. And they were definitely an influential band in the Seattle scene. I feel like when the whole grunge thing popped off in the early 90s, I'm sure a lot of those bands being from that area probably listened to The Accused and were inspired by The Accused in one way or another. A very important band, though, as far as pioneering what they called splattercore. And of course, their mascot, Martha Splatterhead, appeared on most of their album covers. I guess she was somewhat of undead girl or a zombie. Their lyrical content involved a lot of social issues and a reoccurring theme of Martha coming back from the dead to kill rapists, child molesters, human scum, if you will, things of that sort. So good on Martha. I thought she was a very cool mascot. So fast forward to 2005. Long time has passed. I'm just getting into using the internet a lot. MySpace, discovered that the Accused are active through MySpace. They had their own website. I go check out the website. They had a thing called Splat Chat, which was essentially their chat forums online. I read in their a thread in the Splat Chat that they were actually looking to do an Accused comic book. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. Do some art, send it to one of the most influential bands of my life, and was just very stoked to be doing something with them. Shortly after I sent some stuff in, I got a package in the mail from Lord Zibby Blaine, the Duke of the goddamn mother effing Delridge, vocalist of the Accused, and they had just put out a album in 2005 called Oh Martha, so he'd sent me a couple of those, and he sent me a t-shirt, couple t-shirts actually. First shirt was a Zippy's Giant Burgers shirt, which I learned to go on. Zippy's was a restaurant that Blaine was running in Seattle, so it was cool to see that he, did something after music where he got to be his own person, his own boss, do something he loved. It's very sad when I see guys from these types of bands that I looked up to, having to work some type of demeaning, 9-to-5 slave labor instead of doing something that they're passionate about and something they really love. But so that was cool. And fun fact, Zippy's actually appeared on Mystery Diners on the Food Network in 2014. With some shenanigans involving their mascot. That's pretty fun. Suggest you should go look that up if you've never seen that episode, or if you're a foodie fan in general. It's very cool. The second shirt he had sent me was a toe tag shirt, and I wasn't sure what toe tag was all about. And then I found out right around that time there was a divide in the band. Tommy, the original guitarist, kind of went his way. The other guys went their way, and started a band called Toe Tag, who also played as Martha's Revenge low-key as an Accused cover band, quote-unquote. So that was pretty clever of them. They're now known as the Accused AD, after death. And the Toe Tag days, they had Mickey Widner from Poison Idea on drums, which was very cool because, Poison Idea, classic, legendary hardcore punk band. If you don't know Poison Idea, you don't know punk, I'm sorry. And fast forward to 2020, they ended up with Steve the Slayer Hippie Hanford, who also drummed for Poison Idea. So that was very cool. But then sadly in 2020, Steve passed away of a heart attack, I believe. And that was really sad, man. Just too young. Such a solid guy. I had just become friends with him on Facebook not long before that happened, and so that was pretty heartbreaking. My condolences still go out to his family. But, we were now in the COVID age, 2020, and I had an idea to make a COVID mask because the Accused had Accused AD, had put out an album in 2019, Ghoul in the Mirror, and I liked the new take on the Martha Splatterhead character that artist Casey Angel did. So my mask I wanted to make was sort of a homage to his artwork. You might have noticed at the beginning I had a quick his picture was in there, a portion of his artwork was in there for a second, just for me to kind of get the gist of the shape of the mouth and stuff, and then I sort of took it from there. Yeah, I traced a little bit, I cheated. Anyways, as you can see, I'm doing this all freehand the rest of the way, dots upon dots upon dots. It gets maddening. But, when I made these COVID masks, I've been selling them through my website, my t-shirt place. It's one of those third-party sites. You only get a few bucks per item as you sell. I had the intentions of giving all proceeds to the band. Only sold about 10 masks. So I made about a whole $20 or so, maybe $2 a mask. So I thought, well, I still like to give back. So, when they have a new merch release or something, I'll buy something, right? Try to give some money back to the band. Of course, COVID, tough times. I was still pretty not doing the best financially, but I went to buy some merch one day and was looking on their Facebook page for a link when I noticed that their vocalist Blaine had posted about a wicker bar cocktail book he was making, and he was looking for artist submissions. And I thought, man, what better way for me to give back to them? You know, $20, yeah, I could buy a shirt from them, but I feel like doing this art for Blaine. Hopefully this book does well and he makes lots and lots of money. So I wanted to be part of that and helping him out with that. And if you don't know, Blaine now has a YouTube channel called The Wicker Bar, where he does cocktail recipes and he cooks and stuff. It's really fun. I mean, he's a fun guy. If you know Blaine, you know what his energy's like. He's the Duke of the goddamn motherfucking Delridge. I mean, what can we say about, what can you say about Blaine that hasn't been said? The man's an absolute legend. So I was doing a drink recipe on my iPad Pro, which I'd had for about 3 years at this point, and realized I have a time-lapse option. And clicking on that time-lapse option was really what spawned the idea for this YouTube channel, because I had all this artwork on my iPad and realizing I've got all these time lapses. Some of them are short, some of them are long, like this one. Doing the dots, obviously a lot more time consuming, the pointillism. So, long story short, I've now submitted 4 pages for the book, hoping that does really well for Blaine. And at the same time, spawn the birth of this channel. So we're going to be bringing you lots of time lapse in the future. And got some other ideas cooked up. But if you enjoyed watching, urge you to like, subscribe, comment, the bell, subscriptions, share to your friends, all that good stuff. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Until next time, we'll see what's going on.